You're watching Morning at NTV.
Staying with us, would like to take you straight to Entebbe and talk to some of the candidates within the jurisdiction and what they are promising their voters. Brief preamble. In Entebbe, the battle for the city is being fought between newcomer National Unity Platform and then the Democratic Party. However, Wilberforce Seryazi, a former candidate who came second in the 2016 elections, is also one of those battling for the Entebbe municipality seat. Our reporter Ivan Walanyolo spoke to them and has more in this report. A very good morning, my brother. What's the latest?
Well, a very good morning to you, Rami, and our audience. We are coming to you 47 kilometers southwest of Uganda's capital, Kampala, and I'm talking about Entebbe, which is the first colonial capital of Uganda. But of course, being so beautiful, the recreational hub of the country, it has attracted 8 people bidding for the parliamentary seat. And as I speak right now, 4 of these aspirants have come to join me on the show this beautiful morning. If I can quickly run through, I have the only lady on the show, Nabata, welcome to the show. I have also Seryazi, Wilberforce, welcome to the show, Wilbur. Ishaka Stephen. Ishaka Stephen is the flag bearer for the NRM party. Of course, joining me on the show. Ishaka, welcome to the show. I have the only man, Red. Red is a sign of, well, but welcome to the show, Maiko, Kakembo. Quickly, I'll start with Ishaka. Ishaka, you have tested the trust of the people of Entebbe when you have had to win the primaries of the NRM party. And as I speak, you're holding the flag. Why do you think it should be you to take over the parliamentary seat in Entebbe?
First and foremost, it's what the NRM has been, first and foremost, what the NRM has been able to do for Uganda. And I'm not standing as me, I'm standing as the representation of the NRM, representing a group of people who have the country at heart. And I'm just that figure that is representing them. However, Ishaka Stephen is a lawyer by profession and has worked with government before, with the Ministry of Finance. And as well...
Just before you shoot in the... Why is it the NRM? The NRM has had the trust in the past. The current, the incumbent, who is Rosemary Tumusime, is NRM and also NRM. Why do you believe it is not her who should have continued with another term and it's you?
It's not me believing that's not her, it's the people that have made the choice. The people went for primaries and were quite about 6 of us, and the people chose Ishaka Stephen for the reason that he had a better presentation and he gave them hope of moving forward 2021, 2026. So it's the people that have entrusted me to take on that position for primaries, NRM flag bearer. Now we are going for the hot seat and let's see how it goes. Yeah. The people will still decide.
Let me leave you there. Let me come back to the only lady, Honorable Nabata. If you are going to be elected through this process that's coming ahead, you are going to be an MP, a lady who is now going to drive a city, no longer a municipality. Why do you think it is not Musime, it is not Ishaka Stephen, it is not Seryazi Wilberforce, it is not Kakembo Maiko, and it is you to take over the parliamentary seat?
Yeah. Morning, listeners. I'm Nabata Joyce. I think I'm the best candidate who qualifies in this term. First and foremost, I'm independent but dependable. I'm on a clock as my symbol. And the first thing, according to the Constitution of Uganda, Article 79, I'm in position to represent the community of Entebbe city, as you said, but we are already a city. It is not new to me. Yeah. And second, I'm an accountant by professional. I can run the budget and even appropriate it properly. The third thing is that I've been in the community. I can do the oversight as per the Constitution. And the third thing, still I can sit on the Constitution when we are making the law and say that, yeah, let Entebbe municipality have an hospital, grade B, remain to the community. I have the capacity and ability to do that for the community.
Well, I'll go to Seryazi Wilberforce. Why do you think the 7 of other aspirants do not fit in the position and it should be you to take over?
Thank you very much, Ivan. And thank you for inviting us in this talk show. Definitely all my contestants are capable. But I want to tell Entebbe people that I am more competent in as far as representation. I can give you confidence, Entebbe people, that in terms of representation as a member of parliament, I'll definitely be better than my colleagues. I have the experience, I have the exposure and the expertise. As a professional lawyer that has been there for a long time, as a spokesperson of the national political party, I think I have the stature to represent Entebbe in a better than my colleagues.
Well, Kakembo, you have had to contest in the previous elections. You lost to the incumbent now, and you're coming in this time. Why do you think you're the right candidate to take over that position?
Thank you, Ivan, and thank you, the viewers and the people of Entebbe Municipality. My name is Salongo Kakembo Mikaeli Mbwatekama. I call myself the MP for this municipality. I wish Madame Rose was here. I was going to ask her a lot of questions because there is a lot of gaps in Entebbe as far as representation is concerned, and that's why we want to come in. I know Entebbe Municipality. I know the status of Entebbe. I know where we were, where we are now, and I know where we want to go. Entebbe is very historic. It was the first capital city. It's a special city as you compare to any other city. But look at what we have right now. Look at the education system. Is it what we have? Indeed, Entebbe deserves better, deserves more. We need a public university, for example. We don't have it. Look at the infrastructure. People are talking of developing Entebbe Municipality into a tourist destination center, but the infrastructure to support the tourism, do we have it? Look at the roads. We still have a lot of bad roads in Entebbe, and to me I feel those are the gaps that we need to come in and we do something. You know, I'm born in Entebbe, I've studied in Entebbe, I've built my house in Entebbe, produced children in Entebbe, I'm now old in Entebbe. Probably I may even die here in Entebbe. So I believe Entebbe needs better than this. Being the first capital city, being a historical city, we deserve better. We have Entebbe Grade B Hospital, which is referred to as a referral now. But is it a referral hospital indeed? To me it is a hotel, a building with bedrooms and beds. A hospital has ingredients that go beyond bedrooms and the rooms where people to sleep. We need doctors. Are they paid well? Do we have medicine? Do we have the machines in the hospital that qualifies the Entebbe Grade B Hospital to be a referral? No.
Let me hold you there for a minute. Let me come back to you, Ishaka. Shaka, like I said, you've tested the trust of the people in Entebbe. What is in your docket for them?
First and foremost, we must not run away from the duties of a member of parliament. They are supposed to go ahead and debate and legislate, and of course supervise and ensure government is doing its role. And that's the basis of a member of parliament. However, I'm talking about going the extra mile. Going the extra mile would mean that the people of Entebbe need to have a leader that is just not somebody who appreciates the law as a lawyer as I am, but somebody who is able to unite all factors, unite all people, all stakeholders to develop Entebbe, going that extra mile. In the NRM, we're talking about securing our future. What do we mean about securing our future? We are talking about getting our commodities and turning them into value addition. In that way, once we spearhead these programs as the leaders of Entebbe Municipality, then the people first and foremost are going to get jobs. For example, let me give an example. If you have a farmer who is...
Shaka, I want to cut you short. You, the NRM, have had this seat in the recent. The NRM has had this seat in the recent. Yes. Is what you are saying additional or what was initially planned for the people of Entebbe? It
is additional. We're talking about value addition. If you may allow me to explain myself, when I talk about, for example, a farmer who is going to plant a tomato, we are going to train him how to plant a quality tomato and also put a factory that can purchase that tomato and add value addition. That is, turn it to tomato sauce or tomato paste, and then be able to import or export. And we shall do Buy Uganda, Build Uganda. However, we don't stop at that. We have the lake. The lake, the fishermen, of course, you know, one of the things that we do a lot in Entebbe is fishing is part of what supports the people of Entebbe. So we are saying these people who go fishing, we should be able to support them, the fishermen, give them alternative sources of income, and as well support that program of fishing, like putting up the necessary factories, exporting and importing. Then of course we have to put the entertainment, because Entebbe is the resting place for Uganda. We have everything here. So we are saying that if we can turn our waters into a form of entertainment, we have the jet skis, the boats, and develop the water for people to come and entertain themselves. It would make a lot of sense. Look at our zoo. We just need PPPs, public-private partnerships. We have people coming on board and seeing that they can be able to transform our zoo to be able to meet the international standards. There are so many things that we can do in spearheading developing Entebbe municipality, including training the youth, the carpenters, the plumbers, all the technical groups of people, so that they can be able to meet the demand of Uganda and the people who are interested in our products. So I'm talking about value addition, and that's the way we're going to secure our future as the NRM. So it's not a one-man show. It's a collectiveness of people in Entebbe to come together and prioritize Entebbe municipality.
Well, let me come back to the only lady, the accountant. Honorable Nabata, you are going to be a member of parliament for a city, not a municipality at this time. A lot of changes are going to come on board. But if you look at Entebbe, a place that was Uganda's colonial capital, given what was left here, some of them, we cannot still retain that image. What do you think the people of Entebbe deserve in your term of office if you are elected?
If I'm elected as a member of parliament for Entebbe City, first and foremost, what I'm looking at, that in Entebbe we're having a challenge of different ideologies, but we are the same people. That's why I'm independent. That besides our different ideologies, we need to be the same. We need the same good service delivery. We need the hospitals all together. We need the lakes in Entebbe. We need jobs, which I've already started doing on empowering people to be self-employed. Of course, we can't fit in the ministries and offices that are already established. The population of Uganda now has grown. We can't chase anybody from Entebbe, but we have to use the resources around us to employ ourselves. Besides Entebbe becoming a city, but the people will remain the same. We need to be empowered to work. So Nabata is already doing that. It is ongoing skills in a girl child lifting up the single mothers and the girl child skilling, mostly the youth, and targeting the young mothers. When you reach Entebbe, you find that there is a number of youth who are unemployed. But our challenge is we are educated and we are in position to employ ourselves. We've not been represented on that way. And the budget that comes for you, wealthy and dead, it ever neglects men. Men are isolated and left out. I want to use that opportunity when I'm in parliament to advocate for the men's fund also. Let that fund that comes to the youth and women also go to the men. I will use that role of the member of the parliament to appropriate the budget to see that I get more for Entebbe City, as you've said. But for me, I know already Entebbe has been a city. And I will make sure that the lakes, we are safely using them. Because Entebbe is surrounded by the lake. We've been fought, the fishermen have been killed, but the problem is not the fishermen, the problem is the people who are enforcing it. We were not sensitized, and we are not given that fund to purchase the boats and the nets that reach the standards. When to come to health, Entebbe now we don't have an hospital. We are only having 2 health centers, that is Chigungu and Kanonakali, but they don't have the machines and the qualified doctors. I want to be in parliament to remind the Minister of Health that Entebbe needs more services in health, and the doctors need to be well facilitated. Let grade B come back. These mothers in Entebbe who are low-income earners, they can't now be able to give birth when they are Sicilians. You have to pay 800 and more so that you give birth to your kid. But the machines are there sleeping. Now I'm taking this opportunity to kindly beg the Minister of Health to return grade B hospital back to Entebbe citizens, because the case of COVID is less than the community that was using the grade B.
Seryazi Wilberforce, I am looking at you being a member of parliament in a city, now having to expand and annex more territories if you are elected into office. Entebbe, which was Uganda's first colonial capital, whatever was left here now looks to be abandoned. If you go to the schools, I am sure in the colonial times, whoever was educated would always want to stay in Entebbe, and indeed they were. But now, what do you think Entebbe deserves in your term of office if you are elected?
Thank you very much. I have had my colleagues talk about, they seem to appreciate the problems that Entebbe has and what needs to be done, and I think they're doing very well. But I think the question needs to be, what is the role of a member of parliament in as far as development issues are concerned of an area? Because sometimes we confuse these roles. The roles of developing the infrastructure and an area are actually roles of the local government leaders. We have a mayor, we have chairpersons of divisions whom we expect to do all these kind of things. Sometimes it's not right for an MP to promise that you're going to build a hospital or help to build a road, because first, it's not in your mandate, and secondly, you do not have the resources to do that. While local governments are actually appropriated with funds and budgets to do these things. So the issue, what is the role of Member of Parliament in as far as developing Entebbe is concerned? Entebbe is going into a city. I think, first of all, the role of Member of Parliament is to be able to legislate in Parliament so that we have good laws in this country. Second is effective representation, so that when we have issues that need to be aired out on behalf of Entebbe, you air them out in Parliament so that Cabinet can come and implement them. The third role is that if you have local government leaders here, mayor, chairpersons of divisions, you have to act as a watchdog to put them on pressure so that they implement what is discussed in their different divisions. Therefore, Seryazi, as a Member of Parliament, I think there are two areas that are very of concern in Entebbe. In my opinion, one of them is lack of jobs. It's a general problem, but in Entebbe, it's also there. So my suggestion would be that as a leader in Parliament, we can bring a motion to negotiate with for companies and organizations that come in Entebbe, from Civil Aviation and all these other hotels and all of them, so that we agree, we can have a memorandum that maybe 50% or 40% of the jobs are retained in Entebbe. We find buses in the morning coming, picking workers to come and work in Entebbe. In the evening, they're taken back. But if we can negotiate with these organizations and companies, and we have a memorandum, the 40% of the jobs be left in the Entebbe people. The other thing is about the education in Entebbe. Some of us had an opportunity to study in the best schools in Entebbe at that time. I studied in Lake Vic in primary. It was a first-class school. But the education has gone down generally. My suggestion would be to bring a motion that we have a university in Entebbe. You hear universities in all these places, Mbarara, Kabale, Dusitema, Gulu. But fortunately for Entebbe, the colonialists left for us tertiary training institutions like veterinary, fisheries, survey. We can upgrade those to a status of a university that can uplift the level of education in Entebbe. The other thing is to be able, as an MP, is to be able, beside legislation and representation, you can lobby for your people through private means. Small things like a health center, circles of different groups, women groups, youth groups, and all these kind of things. You can lobby and help them raise their status of living. Therefore, what I promise Entebbe people, that I may not have the capacity to do the roads and to do, because it's not my role, but I will have capacity to be a watchdog over the local government leaders so that they implement what they're supposed to do. And I will effectively represent Entebbe. We have never had an opportunity as an Entebbe municipality to have a Member of Parliament that effectively represents us, and the whole country knows that there is a Member of Parliament in Entebbe, the way you hear, the Katuntus, and Serekos, Sechikubo. We've not had that opportunity, yet we have very talented people in Entebbe. So members, citizens of Entebbe, if you want effective representation for the next 5 years, Seryazi will effectively represent you people in this country.
Let me go to Maiko Kakembo. Maiko Kakembo, you have spoken to voters in the past 2016. I am sure the campaigning message has not changed right from what people expect. People have used Chigung Road to advocate for votes. They have used the renovation, they promised the renovation of the schools that the colonialists left for us. Now, what do you think makes you a different candidate from others 7 who are vying for the same position?
Well, I'm a very good voice, and I believe the Entebbe municipality needs a voice, good representation in Parliament. When you look at the status of Entebbe, what it is, what it was, it is us to rekindle that past glory and bring back the glory of Entebbe municipality, or Entebbe city as it is. Entebbe needs facts, not mere promises. Entebbe needs clear-headed leaders and political will to make things move. That's why us, as National Unity Platform, we are coming in with a new slogan, a new Uganda. After our realization that Uganda and Entebbe is wounded, critically ill, it needs a surgeon. It needs a complete overhaul. That's why we are beginning from the president, and we're asking our Ugandans that are out there to change the doctor who is ready to operate Uganda and create new institutions, new blood, new ideas, so that Uganda and Entebbe, we can move forward. whatever we are talking about needs political will. We have promised Ugandans big time. We promised them to get is it wealth? Wealth. Eh? That each one of us has to be rich. 5 years on the road, we are not rich. We are promising them. Secure your future now. I am not certain that we can reach there. But what I'm saying, in a new Uganda, I want to say a new Uganda free of corruption, a new Uganda with a better education system, a new Uganda with a better infrastructure, a new Uganda that respects the law, democracy, rule of law, constitutionalism, and human rights. In a new Uganda, what we are promising Ugandans is that we need to overhaul this old system. But in Entebbe in particular, look at what people are talking of developing Entebbe into a tourist destination center. What do we need? When people are supporting laws that hinder the development of Entebbe into a tourist destination center. For example, OT tax. People are talking of tourism information center. I don't need to go to Entebbe Municipal Council and ask. Everything is in my phone. If you help me access information freely, where we have free wireless internet in Entebbe, we can access each and everything from here with these computers. E-commerce and e-learning is the order of the day. But how can we facilitate the youth access such information if they have to pay OT tax? Internet is very expensive. In many cities outside, big cities like Entebbe, they have free wireless internet, which I expect if Entebbe can have that, tourists will flow here, and we shall develop that level. The road is in Entebbe, like you talked of the Entebbe International Airport. We survive by the grace of God. We don't have an emergency exit. The Bukuchi Gungu Road must be a first-class runway for emergency to deal with so many things. Entebbe Grade B Hospital cannot handle any emergency. For example, we have the president, the state house is here. He has so many visitors, VIPs, diplomats. If there is any problem, heart attack, anything, we cannot handle such emergency without Grade B Hospital. We need to develop Entebbe to the standard that can meet the standard of a city, and of a city where the president is sleeping, where the Entebbe International Airport is, where the UN and the international agencies are in Entebbe. So we deserve better to prepare and meet the demands of the people.
Let me go to Ishaka. Ishaka, I want to say that you are on a party that has led this for now, let me say over 4 terms in office, and the pledges that were made in the last campaign, some of them have not been delivered. If I can remind you, the Chigungu Road was promised by the president to be worked upon, and also the outlet of Entebbe, the Buaya, Nachuogo Buaya outlet was as well promised. Do you think your party, NRM, has done enough on which you based on to represent it, and you want to deliver to the people of Entebbe?
First and foremost, you have to first appreciate where we have been as a country, where we are today and where we are going. The mere fact that we can even sit here and discuss is one of the great achievements, 1. 2, you must appreciate that there is a process of doing things. Things don't just happen. The Chigungu Road was a pledge which the president is going to fulfill, like he has done. I mean, we have a bypass right now. There are so many things.
Elected.
Yes, if he's elected. If he's elected,
yes.
You must appreciate that as the NRM, we have the goodwill of the people. The people are the ones that voted us into power. We are saying that we appreciate what the challenges are, and we are looking at the possible solutions. For example, in Chigungu, those roads are going to be done. We have the challenge of the fishermen who were using bad nets and who were having the challenge with the military. That has been resolved. Yesterday they returned the engines. They have given them, they're giving them the required nets for fishing, and we are saying that we are going to give them an alternative way.
Let me just submit to that. They've been given back the engines. They've been given back the boats. After how long? What was the mode of consensus? And by matter of fact, how have they been before the engines have been returned?
Most. When there's an illegality, you must appreciate that there is an illegality. You must sensitize the fishermen and say that what you are doing was not right. This is what needs to be done, and this is how you're going to do it. And that has been the discussion. And we're in the process of improving the fishermen's lives by ensuring that they have the good methods of fishing, by ensuring that they are supported with alternative sources of income, which we are going to do in securing our future. We should not rub.
Would you subscribe to the fact that the move would have been political, that the engines have been returned at a time when politics is...
We can stop looking at things as politics and start looking at how best can we resolve our ongoing issues. It's just a season of politics. We should get away from politicking and start serving the people. And that's what I'm talking about. We have done a lot as the NRM with the support of the people. If the people give us the mandate, we will continue doing good for them. The NRM in Entebbe is 97%. It has the structures all to the bottom, to the wananchi. We are saying once we use these structures, service delivery is going to be improved. We as the members of parliament, we are supposed to supervise, and I will supervise diligently to see that things are done as they should be done. Secondly, as a member of parliament, other than legislating and debating and the supervision role, we have to go the extra mile and lobby. We have to lobby for our people in Entebbe. We have to lobby on all sectors, whether it's education, whether it's health, whether it's infrastructure, whether it comes down to development of the waters, the tourism industry. Of course, we've suffered because of COVID-19, but we're learning our lessons. We have to digitize Entebbe municipality. This is where the airport is. When you come into Entebbe, you should just go directly to your mobile phone and be able to peruse Entebbe within your phone.
Madam Nabata, the honorable to be in a city if elected, what would happen to you in case you lost in the election?
Joyce, I'm in a politics of non-war. I'm in a free politics, and I'm happy that at least today I've achieved some of my target as to why I stood as an independent candidate. That as you saw us posing in a photo, we are all happy, besides different ideologies. So I will feel happy for the people of Entebbe to vote a mother who is going to unite Entebbe people besides different colors. That today I'm happy that I've realized it. It's the mother to unite the family. And so I've done it successfully. And another thing, if I lost, or if I lose, yeah, I've been in the community. I'm a citizen of Entebbe, I'm a born of Entebbe, an employee of Entebbe, and an advocate in Entebbe as a CBO, leader for Single Mothers Association. You can tune on Spark TV on Saturday. You will watch the program. I will stay in my community. I will sensitize the community. I will still advocate and lobby as I've been doing as Joyce. But please, I beg you people in Entebbe community, vote me so that my advocacy, my networking and lobby goes to a higher level. Wow, thank you very much. Gentlemen and the lady, thank you really for coming up on the show and expressing your views to the people of Entebbe. I am very grateful that whatever you have submitted is valid. If the people of Entebbe are watching, I know they have a decision for them to make, and each one of you has been really great in submitting the views. For time purposes, I want us to leave it there, but I also remind you that you should love the people of Entebbe before you love the seats you are aspiring for. Absolutely. Not the 8 of you are going to be in the parliament. Absolutely. Among the 4 of you who are here, 1 of you will either go, or among those that have not made it on the show. I still remind you, the people of Entebbe need all of you. They need your ideas. Yes. Keep together, even if you lost in an election. Let's be brothers, let's be sisters, and let's make sure that Entebbe returns to the top. Well, it has been a panel of 4 out of the 8 who are vying for the parliamentary seat in Entebbe. The rest of other members who we asked that they would have us time here on the show did not make it, including the incumbent who is now, on an independent ticket. That's Rosemary Tumusime, have not managed to come through on the show. But of course, we say for those 4 who are really strong and think whatever they have in the docket deserves to be given to the people of Entebbe, have expressed their views. And the Morning at NTV is of course here to let you know, in as far as how we're into this political space, who deserves the seat and who does not. And I am sure the viewers out there have heard whatever these people have said. Entebbe, which was the first colonial capital of the country, now regaining its glory to now become a city. We wait to see among these 8 people who really represents a better position of the common man, but also living to see that Entebbe holds what it deserves. Morning at 10 TV continues from me here in Entebbe. Back to you in the studios, Ramio. A very good morning to you and our audience.